Hey yo, what is up everybody? Noah here, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Talk, but this also may be going up on the other channel, but it's been a minute. This is kind of an update, but also a discussion, story time type ordeal. But anyways, enough of that, let's hop right into the video. So what is up everybody? It's been a minute since I've uploaded pretty much anything on the channels. I did stream the other day, but other than that, it's been a minute since I've uploaded on the channels. Especially the Nerd Talk, and I am so sorry about that. I really need to crack down to that. But let's discuss something today. So today we are talking about jobs and how much they can suck. That's part of the reason that I haven't been uploading is because I had a job that I was working at and just, it sucked. Like, it wasn't necessarily a terrible job doing the job itself, but like some of the things that were going on behind the scenes really is what sucks. And so I want to just talk about that, complain about it, maybe bitch about it, I don't know, but that's kind of what today is. And it's kind of just going into that and kind of just talking about that, talking about what I want to do with the channel a little bit maybe, but more of just talking about that. But anyways, let's get right into it. So I was working over at Buffalo Wild Wings, and the job itself, it's not necessarily a bad job. I mean, it's not necessarily my dream career, being in the food industry and stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm an expert on foods, at least eating the food, but like, it's not really my dream career, but I do believe it maybe was help preparing me for some stuff. But I'll tell you one thing it did show me. It showed me the mess behind the scenes that can happen with bad management and bad teams. And here's the thing, the crew I worked with, I love the crew. They were awesome crew and everything. Everyone got along for the most part, of course. In a restaurant, there's tension between waitresses and cooks at times whenever food's not ready or something like that. And that happened quite a bit, pretty much every day, but it's because we were so understaffed, that's part of the problem. But the biggest issue stems from management. Like, oh my gosh, management at this place is horrible, like absolutely terrible. And that's part of the reason that I haven't been able to upload or stream, because we were so understaffed and how bad management was. I came home every day just completely absorbed of my energy, completely exhausted, completely worn out physically and mentally. It was insane. And here's like one thing, it's like getting my paycheck and everything, getting my hours in. I couldn't even get my full hours in, because here's the thing, they wanted us in at 9 o'clock in the morning, right? But you show up at 9 o'clock, no one's there, no manager is there, the door is locked until a manager arrives. And so literally every day sitting there in the parking lot till like 9:30, sometimes 10 o'clock, finally a manager shows up. And that is just bad etiquette all around, because they expect you to be there at 9, but yet they're not there until those times. And it was just absolutely insane and ridiculous. On top of that, I got injured twice on the job, 2 serious injuries. I had an injury on my back when I strained a muscle really bad, and I couldn't get workman's comp for it. They didn't even give it to me as an option at all or anything, and I literally could not move, but I had to force myself to go to work for like 5 days straight in constant pain. And when I got home, I literally couldn't sit or lay down or anything at all without being in major pain, until I finally said, I'm going to the ER. And I went to the ER. They checked it out. Luckily nothing was damaged, but that muscle, that strained muscle, I had to get a doctor's note, had to stay home for a few days. So finally I got that. And just the other day, I burned the hell out of my hand at work on accident, and nothing about it. They just wanted me to keep going with the burn. It literally hurt so bad throughout the day. And when I got home, it hurt so bad throughout the night. Luckily the next day it finally calmed down, but throughout that, it was like the worst burn pain I've ever had, directly on the palm of my hand. And it was like the worst I've ever experienced for burn pain. And I've like burned myself with the fryer and stuff. Sometimes the oil jumps out at you and you burn yourself. But this pain was like on a whole new level, and they did not care about that really. So I mean, that's just how it went. And I get it, on the job sometimes you gotta push through certain things, but like how bad this one, we thought it was like 2nd degree burns. Luckily it didn't turn out that way, but that's how it felt. That's how it seemed. And maybe it's just because I've never burned that part of my hand before, but it hurt so much. Like literally I couldn't take my hand off of ice or anything without major pain again. It sucked, man. Especially that back injury too. The back injury was no fun. Literally having to go in every day, walking around all day, not being able to sit very long. going out for an occasional smoke break just to get away for a minute and sit down at those moments, but then coming home and just being in this agonizing pain to where I couldn't sit down, I couldn't even lay down on my back comfortably without being in pain, and then having to do the same thing again the next day. It really was something, and it was not fun, I tell you that. And so, I get it, like with managers and stuff and all that, every now and then if they're a little late, that's fine, but literally it's every day the manager doesn't show up until like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and it is absolutely insane. I mean, I finally quit that job today. I'm done. We waited till 10 o'clock today, and part of the reason too is because right now I don't have my license, and we have to drive at least 20 minutes to get there, and so it's a lot of stress on my family already getting me there, but then on top of that having to wait for like that extra hour to 40 to an hour, 40 minutes to an hour. It's ridiculous, like straight up ridiculous and uncalled for, because that even cuts in our hours too, so I am losing 2.5 hours every week at least on my paycheck, and it is ridiculous. The job itself isn't bad. The crew, like I said, the crew is pretty cool. They were pretty cool to get to know and talk to and everything, but just it's not worth it in this fact of having to deal with this daily and not getting the full pay that I'm supposed to get, and also having to do the work alone. Because there's plenty of times so far, because some people have quit, or some people, because they get fed up too, or maybe got fired, and so straight up, I'm the only one in the kitchen doing the work throughout the day, and I'm still fairly new to a lot of kitchen stuff, and so having to make the food on top of still trying to learn certain things is very stressful for one person to do alone, especially if we get really busy and get a rush, because yesterday was Easter, at least as we're recording this video, and it was insane. Like literally had a rush from noon to 2, and luckily finally the manager did come in and start helping me, but usually that's how it goes. Like only when we get like a huge rush will he show up and kind of start helping a little bit, but even then it's still just very stressful for one person that's still learning the ropes about everything and trying to figure everything out. And it was just really, really stressful. I get it, and I understand a job like that is going to be stressful at times like that and everything, but usually you're not the only person working, especially if you're new to it all and still trying to learn it all, and it kind of sucks. And I get it, maybe some people will be like, well, learn under the pressure, but it's not just that, it's the fact of, again, these managers not showing up, just showing up whenever they feel like showing up, and probably adjusting their hours to what their pay is compared to us employees who are already missing like 2.5 hours every week on the check. And so it just really gets annoying in that fact. And even whenever they have the audacity to call you whenever they're super late, and if you're just showing up there, like only one day out of the whole time I've been working there so far, one day at 9 o'clock did I get a call saying, are you coming in? Right at 9. And I was already pulling into the place at that time. Only one day. Other than that, it's been at like 9:30 or 10. And I've shown up there and had to wait in the parking lot with coworkers and stuff, just waiting. And so it's very stressful and very annoying. So basically, like, the thing is just like, if you're gonna work at a restaurant or work somewhere, kids, don't go to one with bad management. Make sure the management is good. Because when I first showed up, I thought it was going to be pretty cool. There's one manager that I really like. He's a really cool dude. He actually does his job for the most part. But the other ones, at least the main one that I have to deal with every day, just no, doesn't. And I'm not trying to talk bad on the dude. He's a good dude, just a terrible manager. And I'm sorry, dude, but it's true. Things gotta change unless you want to get the place shut down or whatever. But that's why I'm done working there. And just that's why I like haven't been able to upload it all. And it sucks, man. Like wanting, at least I was getting paid, but at the same time, it's not worth it. Even with the pay I was getting, because it was pretty good pay. But to deal with everything else that was going on with it, it just really wasn't worth it. And I haven't had time at all to be able to sit down and work on anything for the channels, because I've really been wanting to. But again, I've been so mentally and physically exhausted that I have not been able to sit down and stream or record anything at all, because I just don't have the mental capability at the times to do so or anything like that. And it's straight up ridiculous, man. Like, it's insane. That being said, this job did show me, with the bad management and everything, that kind of, in a way, that's how I've been running the channels, just doing it whenever I can or whenever I feel like it. And I understand now, like, if I want this to work, I gotta work it no matter what. I gotta do it, man. I gotta put in the work, otherwise I'm no better than them in the fact of, like, not getting content out and all that. And I understand that. And, I've always tried to say, like, oh man, it's just so hard to find the balance, which it was. But at the same time, sometimes you just gotta do it. It doesn't matter if you're feeling it or not, you just gotta do it. And that's my biggest weakness, is that, like, I wait to, like, feel it sometimes, or, like, get something to feel like I can create something. But just, you gotta do it even when you don't. And so I really just need to crack down and get to it. Like, that really taught me that, and so I'm going to do my best to get better about that. I gotta get better at it. Like, I have to. I'm gonna force myself to do something, and start bringing content to you guys, because that's what I want to do. I want to bring content. I want to be a content creator. I want to be my own manager of my own business or CEO, And that really taught me that if I'm going to do that, I got to do it right. So even if I'm not feeling it or anything, I still got to try and get something out. I got to work hard no matter what. I have to stay constant instead of doing it whenever because, delays and stuff. That really taught me all that. And so that's my goal. My goal is to go ahead and try and get something out at least every week for the Nerd Talk. On the Spidey 2000 channel, probably going to still be sticking to streams. Going to try and do some Let's Plays. But mainly the Nerd Talk, still at least weekly get something out if I can. See what I got, just play through some games, get stuff out, get content out. And that kind of wraps that up, just, like I said, it's insane, man. It's crazy. The stuff dealing with over there, and that's part of the reason that I haven't been uploading, is because, like I said, literally so mentally and physically exhausted from it that I had no idea what to make, what to even create. But even if I wanted to, coming home in the pain that I was coming in, even after my back injury was healed, still coming home and dealing with my aching bones and body from everything else was just a lot. And so, it just made it really hard. But it taught me a big lesson in the fact of, you gotta work, man. You gotta work hard at things, You can't just half-ass it, otherwise there gets issues and all that. And I have an understanding of that now. So I'm going to do my best, guys, I promise. I'm not perfect about it either, and I'm not saying I am going to be perfect about it, but I want to do better at it. This job really taught me that I want to do better at what I'm trying to focus on. I do have another job coming up, hopefully soon, over at GameStop, which I'm super stoked about, so hopefully I do get that one. But even still, I'm going to do my best to get something out at least weekly for this channel, and then the streams. The biggest thing with the streams is just finding a good schedule for those. But at least when it comes to content, I gotta get something out. I have to. If I want to grow and if, I want to be seen as an influencer or creator and all that, I gotta just stick to it. I gotta do something, man. And that really taught me that. But nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you've had a crappy job like that before, crappy management, let me know in the comments where it was and how bad it was, because then we can all complain about it together. But nonetheless, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, be sure to click that like button, click the subscribe button, click that notification bell, all that good stuff. Stay up to date. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.